So one of my favorite cases I had an opportunity to support a client on was one in which they received a ransom email. And the email contained certain information that was directly from that client. It was 3 pieces of unique information that couldn't have been found elsewhere outside of the organization. So it was clear to us that this person either has or had access to corporate information of our client. In reviewing the ransom note and working with our client and the law firm supporting the investigation, we were able to really dial into the nature of the information that was provided to us. And we were able to identify what we believe were specific individuals or units within the organization that would have had access to all of those unique pieces of information. In so doing, we took that information and were able to focus down on very specific individuals. And we were able to work with the client's human resources team to help identify those specific people. From there, we did a forensic review of the computers of those individuals. It just so turns out that one of those individuals who had access was a former employee who had left the company 2 years prior. So as we're looking at the forensic review of these former employee computers and current employee computers, we also had our team on the dark web monitoring side of the house run all of this information through our dark web searches to see if this information had potentially come from the dark web. Perhaps somebody out there had identified this information and was using it to leverage it against this company in the form of a ransom. Fortunately, the dark web monitoring was able to rule that out. That information was not found on the dark web. So it really allowed us to focus our attention on these former employees and current employees' computers. When we did a little more research into the email address associated with the ransom note, we were able to find that one of the email accounts had received a read receipt notice from a Gmail account. That became very important information with us because we felt that as if somebody was testing the ransom email address out to ensure that it worked properly, probably with their own personally used Gmail account. So we took great interest in that Gmail address. Subsequently, our review of the computer for one specific former employee also led us to find that same Gmail address was associated with an Android phone that had been previously connected to that computer. So at that point, we now had an email address that was used in association with the ransom note and the computer used by a former employee who had plugged their personal phone into this computer. Those 2 names had matched up, and we felt very confident that we had identified our individual who had sent the ransom note. We provided all of this information to the client, who then in turn provided it to the police, and the police went and interviewed this individual who admitted outright that he did in fact still have access to the corporate client and was still inside their network and making changes to data. So it was not only great that we were able to identify him from the ransom perspective, but we were able to actually also get somebody out of their network that should not have been there.